Hello everyone, welcome to Study IQ. Let's start the current affairs for 1st of September. Today we are starting a new month, and with new month comes new hopes. And I hope that you get rid of all the negativity and embrace positivity in this month to come. So let's start. But before I start, I would like to show you 3 images and some questions will follow. So the power plant that you see in this photo is SIPAT. SIPAT, SIPAT thermal power plant. Thermal power plant is essentially powered by coal. So you burn the coal and then you convert the thermal energy that you get from coal into electrical energy. So this is the coal power plant called SIPAT. Where is it in India? Can you tell me where is it? Still today, in today's time and age, even though we have a lot of unconventional sources of energy, still 70% of the energy that we produce in India is produced from coal. Next question is about drones. So you know that the Ministry of Home Affairs has divided drones into 5 categories. Can you tell me what is the weight of nano drones? That is question number 1. Second, till what height you can fly a nano drone without approval? And the third, the sky has been divided into how many zones for flying drones, and in which of the zone the permission to fly is not permitted? Write down the answer. What are nano drones? What is their weight? Their weight is up to how many grams or kilograms? You can fly nano drones till what height? And you know that the drones have been categorized into 5 categories. And the sky has been divided into how many categories? And the third question is regarding the Taj Mahal, one of the modern wonders of the world, in Agra, Uttar Pradesh. Can you tell me that the government of Uttar Pradesh has marked how much area around Taj Mahal as no plastic zone? You can answer in meters or kilometers. In how much radius, the distance from Taj Mahal is declared as a no plastic zone by the government of Uttar Pradesh. So these are the 3 questions. Now let's start the video. What is the name of the new ranking system launched by the Ministry of Human Resource Development to systematically rank education institutions and universities primarily on innovation related indicator? Very soon you will see a ranking like this is the most innovative university in India. So the educational institutions and universities will be ranked on their innovation quotient, and the ranking will be called Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievements. So the answer is A. In short, it will be called ARIIA, Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievements. Which country is going to provide euro 120 million soft loan, 120 million euros, which is around 1000 crore soft loan for Clean Ganga mission? This country is Germany, and I'll tell you why it is providing this loan. So there are 2 rivers in Germany. One is called Rhine and one is called Danube. These are the 2 biggest and the most important rivers of Germany. Rhine and Danube, Danube. And both of these rivers were very dirty, one of the most polluted rivers in the world. But Germany was able to clean both of these. And similar is the case with Thames River, whose bank we have London City. London is located on the bank of Thames. Thames was also very polluted, but they were able to clean it. So if they were able to clean Rhine and Danube, why can't India clean Ganga and Yamuna river? So Germany will not only provide economic assistance, but also technical assistance. So Germany is providing a loan of 120 million euros to India for Clean Ganga mission. Now there is a Ganga Brook project. It has been piloted in the government schools in which Indian state? And then of course, since it is a pilot project, the pilot project means that when something is done on a very small scale, it is called a pilot project, to check whether it is efficient or not. And then once it works, it can always be extrapolated to the bigger geographical area. So what is Ganga Book project? It is very similar to Danube Book, okay, from Germany. Ganga Book project is basically to sensitize the people about how they can keep Ganga clean, and it will be implemented in the government schools of Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand's new governor is Baby Rani Maurya. Which commission of India or which organization has submitted its draft report to the Ministry of Law, headed by Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad? He is the Law Minister of India. He is also the Electronics and IT Minister of India. And they favor simultaneous elections. Simultaneous elections means when you conduct the elections for the Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha or Legislative Assembly in one go. That is called simultaneous election. They have actually favored simultaneous elections in India. So which commission has favored it? It is the Law Commission. Law Commission of India. And who is the chairman of Law Commission? Justice B.S. Chauhan. Justice B.S. Chauhan is the chairman of Law Commission of India. The Indian Institute of Technology Delhi, IIT Delhi, which is also declared as an Institute of Eminence along with IIT Mumbai, and AIIMS, which is in Ansari Nagar, New Delhi, All India Institute of Medical Science, has entered into an agreement for setting up of a biomedical research park in which district of Haryana? This is for biomedical research. A park will be set up in Jhajjar. Jhajjar. Now can you tell me which airport in India will be named after Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji? Write down in comments. An Indian American scientist has identified 50 protein biomarkers that can non-invasively detect inflammatory bowel disease. What's his name? His name is Chandar Mohan. Chandar Mohan. Which tiger reserve has launched a toll-free number 1926 to curtail man-animal conflicts? You must be aware of what is a man-animal conflict. So basically there is a habitat loss due to human activities, anthropogenic activities, which leads to habitat loss of animals, right? And then they come into the areas where human beings are residing. This leads to a man-animal conflict. So to prevent this, a helpline number has been started by Dudhwa Tiger Reserve. It is in Lakhimpur Kheri district of Uttar Pradesh. Lakhimpur Kheri district of Uttar Pradesh, right at the Nepal border. And within Dudhwa Tiger Reserve, you have two wildlife sanctuaries. So one is called Katarnia Ghat Wildlife Sanctuary, and the second one is called Kishanpur. These are important. Katarnia Ghat and Kishanpur are the two wildlife sanctuaries within Dudhwa Tiger Reserve. So basically it's like this. You have a big area. It is called a biosphere reserve. Okay, now pay attention. I'm telling you a very important concept. There is a big area. You call it biosphere reserve. Okay. And if it comes under Project Tiger, then you simply rename it to Tiger Reserve. So a Tiger Reserve is nothing but a biosphere reserve. Okay, it's the same. The only difference is that biosphere reserve which comes under Project Tiger becomes a Tiger Reserve. Okay, now inside a biosphere reserve you have two things. One is a wildlife sanctuary and one is a national park. Okay, so biosphere reserve is a much bigger area. Right? And wildlife sanctuary and national parks, they are a subset of a biosphere reserve or a tiger reserve. Now, inside one biosphere reserve, you can have more than one wildlife sanctuary, right? Also, so for example, in Dudhwa Tiger Reserve, what do you have? You have Dudhwa National Park and two wildlife sanctuaries. One is Katarnia Ghat and one is Kishanpur. Understood now? Which state government has extended AFSPA, Armed Forces Special Power Act, in the state for 6 more months with immediate effect? AFSPA has been extended in Assam because the government of Assam believes that Assam comes under disturbed area. They have declared Assam disturbed area and they have put AFSPA for 6 more months. In fact, the central government wanted to remove AFSPA from Assam, but the Assam government said no. And remember, this year Armed Forces Special Powers Act was removed from Meghalaya completely, okay, and some villages of Arunachal Pradesh. Also, AFSPA is not present in Tripura. It was removed from Tripura in 2015. So all of these things you can know. Indian Railways has rolled out its first smart coach. The coach has been manufactured by which company? So in India, the railway coaches are manufactured primarily at 3 places. One is the Modern Coach Factory in Raebareli. One is the Integral Coach Factory in Perambur in Chennai. Okay, and the third is the Rail Coach Factory in Kapurthala in Punjab. These are the 3 places where you will find the manufacturing of railway coaches: Perambur, Kapurthala and Raebareli in Uttar Pradesh. So the answer is Modern Coach Factory, Raebareli. Yes Bank has got its approval from the Reserve Bank of India for reappointment of which person as their Managing Director and CEO? His name is Rana Kapoor. He is still the managing director and CEO, and he will remain so. He has got the approval from Reserve Bank of India. And Yes Bank, just yesterday, they launched something known as a Bhamashah wallet in association with the government of Rajasthan for digital payments. It is called Bhamashah wallet. Which Indian naval ship has entered the port of Darwin, Australia to take part in the multilateral maritime exercise called Kakadu? Kakadu will be hosted jointly by Australian Navy and Australian Air Force. So it is INS Sahyadri. And if you remember, Sahyadri was the same ship which participated in the Pacific exercise RIMPAC hosted by America at Hawaii and California. There also we sent Sahyadri. Now why it is called Kakadu and where will it take place? So this is the political map of Australia. These are the divisions of Australia. Look at this. This is called Northern Territory. And right at the north of the Northern Territory, somewhere here, you have a beautiful city called Darwin. Okay, Darwin. And in Darwin, you have a national park called Kakadu National Park. So this exercise is called Kakadu because of vicinity to Kakadu National Park. It is near to Kakadu National Park, so it is called Kakadu exercise. This will be the 4th Kakadu exercise, by the way, right? And somewhere here on the eastern coast of Queensland, you have the Great Barrier Reef. So this is the location of the Great Barrier Reef on the eastern coast of Queensland. And the Commonwealth Games also took place in Queensland at the Gold Coast. So I hope this is clear. A special home to house around 1000 widows. Now this home here is a noun and this house is a verb. Okay, so don't think what is this home to house. Basically there is a special home which will lodge or which will house 1000 widows, right? It was inaugurated at Vrindavan in Uttar Pradesh. Vrindavan is a holy city on the bank of Yamuna River in Uttar Pradesh. What is the name of this house that is built especially for widows? So its name is Krishna Kutir. Krishna Kutir. Kutir is nothing but a house. Okay. Now remember, Krishna Kutir is built by the Ministry of Women and Child Development. It is headed by Maneka Gandhi. She is the minister, cabinet minister for Ministry of Women and Child Development. The 5-day Vostok exercise will take place from September the 11th. Which of the following countries will participate in it? Vostok exercise is to basically scare America because America has been conducting a lot of exercises these days. And this will be done by China, Russia and Mongolia. So the answer is all of the above. And 3,300,000 troops will participate. Now China and Russia, okay, they are friends these days. They have invited Mongolia, which is rather a surprise because China and Mongolia, they are not the best of friends. Mongolia's capital is Ulaanbaatar and Mongolia's currency is Togrog. T-O-G-R-O-G, Togrog. Mongolia, by the way, has a cold desert also called Gobi Desert. And India and Mongolia, they conduct a military exercise called Nomadic Elephant. The exercise between India and Mongolia is called Nomadic Elephant. India's e-commerce market will grow up to $150 billion by which year? This was given by PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers and also NESCOM. This figure was given by them. It will grow up to $150 billion very soon within next 4 years. So by 2022. The 4th BIMSTEC summit recently took place in Nepal. It ended just yesterday. Which declaration was adopted? Since it was in Kathmandu, the name of the declaration was Kathmandu Declaration. Now what is a declaration? So whatever the number of countries they participate in a meeting, okay, which we call summit, we can call it convention, right? They sign a legal document called a treaty. Okay, this is an official document after any meeting. That is called a declaration. So Kathmandu Declaration was signed and this was the 4th BIMSTEC summit. Now remember, 5th BIMSTEC summit, that is the next year, will take place in Sri Lanka. Indian Railways has signed a memorandum of understanding with which company for the use of natural gas in railway workshops? This is very, very important. Railway workshops will use natural gas now, and for that they have signed an agreement with GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited. It's a Maharatan company. There are only 8 Maharatan companies in India, and the 8th company to get Maharatan status was BPCL, Bharat Petroleum. So this is the latest Maharatan company. And who is the chairman of GAIL? Mr. B.C. Tripathi. So since there are 8 companies and these are the most important public sector enterprises in India, you should know the chairman of all the 8. So if I ask you Sanjeev Singh, immediately you should say Indian Oil Corporation. If I say, let's say Shashi Shankar, you should immediately say Shashi Shankar is for ONGC. So you should know the chairman of all the 8 companies, okay? And tomorrow I'll get you to revise all the 8. Now talking about natural gas, you should know something more. So recently from Dehradun to Delhi, Dehradun is the capital of Uttarakhand. From Dehradun to Delhi, there was a flight by SpiceJet. And this flight, the fuel was not diesel or petrol, it was biodiesel. Okay, what is the difference between a diesel and a biodiesel? See, biodiesel we get from plants. Okay, which plant? That is the most important question. The plant is called Jatropha. Super important question, okay? From which plant do we get biodiesel? The answer is Jatropha. Who has taken over as Vodafone Idea's first CEO? So there is this company called Vodafone and there is this company called Idea. Now remember, Idea is owned by Aditya Birla Group. Aditya Birla's son, Aditya Birla is no more now, but Aditya Birla's son, Kumar Mangalam Birla, he is the chairman of Idea. Now who will be the chairman of the company that is merged, which is now called Vodafone Idea? It is Kumar Mangalam Birla. He is the chairman of the merged company also. But who will be the CEO, Chief Executive Officer? It is Balesh Sharma. And remember, Vodafone and Idea, they have merged to take on Reliance Jio. The 6th Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Trade Ministers meeting took place in which country? It was attended, from India's side, it was attended by Suresh Prabhu. He is our Commerce Minister. It took place in Singapore. And this meeting consisted of 10 ASEAN countries and 6 ASEAN Free Trade Agreement partners. Who are the 6 Free Trade Agreement partners of ASEAN? India, China, Japan, Korea, Australia and New Zealand. Inland Waterway Authority of India, which is called IWAI, it has made public 13 standardized state-of-the-art ship designs suitable for large barge haulage on river. Which river? Which has National Waterway 1. So remember, National Waterway 1 is from Allahabad to Haldia. Again, this is very, very important. And National Waterway 2 is from Sadia to Dhubri in Assam on Brahmaputra River. And National Waterway 1, Allahabad to Haldia, is on Ganga River. So the answer is Ganga. And also remember, the stretch from Varanasi to Haldia will have these ships and not Allahabad to Haldia. Right? So National Waterway 1 is from Allahabad to Haldia, but the stretch of river on which we will have these ships running will be from Varanasi to Haldia. Who had organized a 2-day conference called Maya, which is called Motivating and Attracting Youth in Agriculture? It was organized by Indian Council of Agriculture Research, ICAR. Mobility Week, Global Mobility Summit, India's first Global Mobility Summit, and it got kick-started from Mobility Week, that is 1st of September, because the Global Mobility Summit is on 6th and 7th of September. It will be organized by which organization? It will be organized by Niti Aayog. And this is a part of Move India. And Niti Aayog Vice Chairman is Rajiv Kumar and CEO is Amitabh Kant. Let's take a look at 3 questions from Static GK. Vindhya Shakti, he was a ruler. He was the founder of which dynasty? Chalukya, Vakatak, Kakatiya or Kalachuri? He was the founder of the Vakatak dynasty. Who among the following was the religious teacher of Shivaji Maharaj? His name was Ramdas Swami. Ramdas Swami was the guru of Shivaji. Which legendary Sufi saint of Chishti order was popularly known as Chirag-e-Dehlvi, Chirag of Delhi? His name was Nasiruddin Mahmud. Nasiruddin Mahmud. Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently inaugurated which Dharamshala in Nepal? This Dharamshala is called Pashupati Dharamshala. There is also very famous Pashupatinath temple also in Nepal. A book on weather information portal for Indian power system was launched by which person? Weather information portal for Indian power system was launched by R.K. Singh. He is the Minister for Power and New and Renewable Energy. Which medal was won by Indian women hockey team at Asian Games? Indian women hockey team coach is Joard Marijne, written as D-J-O-E-R-D. Joard Marijne, he is from Holland. And captain is Rani Rampal. Indian team won silver medal. They were beaten by Japan in the final by a score of 2-1. Which state or union territory has announced doorstep delivery of various government services for its citizen from September the 10th? So all the government services, whether you want a driving license, you want a ration card, it will be at your doorstep, just like you shop from any online site. This will be provided by Delhi, announced by their CM Arvind Kejriwal, and Delhi has become the first state or union territory in India to do so, to provide all the government services at the doorstep. According to the government data, India's GDP has grown by what percent in the first quarter of 2018-19? So from 1st of April 2018 to 30th of June 2018, these 3 months, first quarter, India's GDP has grown 8.2%. So this was the first video of the new month. I hope you liked the video, and do share, like, comment and subscribe. And also our sale is on. This is our Janmashtami sale. It will run till 4th of September. If you want to buy any of our best selling courses, this is the right time. Thank you so much for watching and see you tomorrow.